moments in life when everything seems to be against you. The doors you expected to open slam shut. The people you trusted turn their backs on you. The enemy whispers, you are alone, you will fail, you are not enough. But I came to tell you today that if God is for you, nothing, absolutely nothing can stand against you. You see, the opposition in your life is not random. It is not by accident. The reason you are being fought so hard is that you are carrying something great inside of you. The enemy doesn't waste time on people who are going nowhere. The fact that you are facing obstacles is proof that heaven has placed something valuable in you. Listen to me. Your setbacks are setups. The betrayal, the rejection, the disappointments, God will use them all to push you forward. But the real question is, will you trust Him even when you cannot see the way? Will you stand firm when everything around you says quit? Because here is the truth. God does not lose battles. And if He is for you, no enemy, no circumstance, and no weapon formed against you can prosper. If you want to walk in that victory, if you want to understand how to stand in the midst of adversity and come out stronger, then stay with me. Because in the next few moments, I am going to show you exactly how to activate this unstoppable power in your life. The world tells you to rely on your own strength, but the truth is human strength is limited. Some trust in power, some trust in connections, some trust in wealth, but all of these can fail. But when God is on your side, no force in heaven, on earth, or beneath the earth can defeat you. Let's talk about a principle that many overlook. Opposition is confirmation. If you are facing resistance, it is because you are stepping into your calling. Look at the great figures of history. Every person who did something significant faced opposition. David had Goliath. Joseph was betrayed by his brothers. Daniel was thrown into the lion's den. Jesus himself was persecuted. But in every case, God turned the enemy's plan for evil into a divine setup for greatness. Let me tell you, God's backing is greater than any obstacle. That means no matter what the enemy plots, no matter who rises against you, no matter what resources are used to try to break you, if God is for you, they will not prevail. I need you to grasp this. The battle has already been won. The moment you align yourself with God's will, you shift from being a victim to being victorious. The enemy can try to delay you, but he cannot destroy you. He can push, but he cannot break you. He can attack, but he cannot defeat you. You see, people think that when God is with them, they won't have any problems. That is not true. God's presence does not mean the absence of challenges. It means the guarantee of victory over them. That is why you must not panic when you face difficulties. You must not give up when people turn on you. You must not surrender when the pressure increases. Instead, you must stand firm and declare, if God is for me, who can be against me? Today I challenge you, stop fearing what the enemy is doing and start focusing on what God is doing. Stop worrying about those who oppose you and start walking in the assurance that the one who created the universe is fighting for you. Declare over your life, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Every tongue that rises against me shall be condemned. I am more than a conqueror. Your life is not an accident. Your calling is not a mistake. Your battles are not without purpose. And let me remind you one last time. If God is for you, nothing and no one can stand against you. Now go forth in faith, walk in victory, and live like someone who knows that the battle has already been won. The opposition in your life is not a coincidence. It is a sign that you are carrying something significant. You see, the enemy does not attack what is weak and useless. He only fights against what is strong and valuable. If you feel pressure, if you feel resistance, if it seems like everything is trying to push you down, that is not a signal to quit. It is confirmation that you are on the right path. Look at the life of Joseph. He had a dream, a vision from God, but the moment he shared it, opposition arose. His own brothers turned against him, threw him into a pit, and sold him into slavery. He faced false accusations, was thrown into prison, and endured years of hardship. But what the enemy meant for harm, God used as a setup. Every setback Joseph faced was actually positioning him for the palace. Had his brothers not betrayed him, he would never have ended up in Egypt. Had he not been falsely accused, he would never have been in the right place to interpret Pharaoh's dream. The very opposition that tried to destroy him became the platform for his destiny. The same is true for you. If you are encountering obstacles, it is because the enemy sees what is inside of you. He is afraid of your potential. He knows that if you step into your divine purpose, you will be unstoppable. That is why the attacks increase when you get closer to your breakthrough. That is why the pressure intensifies when you are about to elevate. The enemy is trying to discourage you before you reach the place God has prepared for you. But here's what you must understand. Opposition does not mean abandonment. Just because you are facing resistance does not mean God has left you. In fact, it means the opposite. God is with you. The battle you are fighting is not proof that you are alone. It is proof that heaven is invested in your success. Consider David. Before he became king, he had to face Goliath. The giant was not a roadblock, he was an opportunity. Goliath was the doorway to David's destiny. Had there been no giant, David's anointing would have remained hidden. Likewise, the challenges in your life are not there to break you, they are there to reveal what God has placed inside of you. So when opposition comes, don't run from it, stand firm. Don't question your purpose, embrace it. The struggles you are facing are not a sign of defeat. They are proof that you are stepping into something greater. And if you refuse to quit, if you keep pressing forward, you will see that the very thing that was meant to stop you will be the thing God uses to propel you into your destiny. When God is backing you, no force on earth, in the heavens, or in the spiritual realm can truly stand against you. It doesn't mean you won't face trials, but it does mean that every battle you face is already won in the spirit. You must understand that when God is for you, His power overshadows every opposition. His presence neutralizes every enemy, and His authority makes every obstacle powerless. Look at the Red Sea. When Israel stood before it with Pharaoh's army closing in behind them, it looked like defeat, but God was with them. And when God is for you, the laws of nature bow to His command. The sea, which was an impassable barrier, became a dry pathway. The same waters that threatened to stop them became the very weapon God used to drown their enemies. What does that tell you? It means that the challenges you are facing right now, the ones that seem impossible, the situations that seem too big for you to overcome, when God is in your corner, those very obstacles will become stepping stones to your victory. Now, many people make the mistake of measuring their battles based on their own strength. They look at the size of the problem instead of the size of their God. But let me remind you, God does not need favorable conditions to give you victory. He does not need a perfect situation to make a way for you. He is the God who brings water from a rock. He is the one who feeds multitudes with 5 loaves and 2 fish. He is the one who opens prison doors without keys. When He is for you, it does not matter what stands against you, it will fall. Even when people conspire against you, even when circumstances rise to break you, the truth remains. God is your defender. If He has spoken a word over your life, it does not matter who tries to stop it, it will come to pass. When Daniel was thrown into the lion's den, the decree was against him. The law was against him. The king had no power to save him, but God was for him, and that was all that mattered. He shut the mouths of the lions and turned the trial into a testimony. So the question is not who is against you. The real question is who is for you. And if God is for you, then no force in existence can defeat you. No attack can prosper. No weapon can break you. The battle is not yours. It belongs to the Lord, and He never loses. The enemy only fights what he fears. If you are experiencing unusual challenges, it is because the enemy recognizes the potential inside of you. He is not attacking you because of where you are. He is attacking you because of where you are going. He sees the anointing on your life. He senses the destiny ahead of you, and he knows that if you ever step fully into what God has planned, you will become unstoppable. Think about Job. He was a righteous man, favored by God, but the enemy sought to break him. The attacks were relentless. His wealth was taken, his family was struck, his health was afflicted. But what the enemy did not realize was that God had already placed limits on what he could do. The enemy was allowed to test Job, but he could not destroy him. Why? Because God was for him. And in the end, Job received double for everything he lost. Now here is what you must understand. Opposition is the enemy's reaction to your divine assignment. The moment you align yourself with God's will, resistance will come. But resistance is not a sign to quit. It is a confirmation that you are moving in the right direction. If the enemy is fighting you, it is because he knows he cannot stop you unless you stop yourself. That is why he uses fear. That is why he tries to discourage you. He wants you to doubt your calling, to give up on your dreams, and to settle for less than what God has for you. But here is the truth. The enemy's attacks are powerless when you stand firm in God. He may try to delay you, but he cannot deny you. He may try to distract you, but he cannot destroy you. When God is for you, even the weapons formed against you will fail. Even the schemes of the enemy will turn into stepping stones for your promotion. So do not be afraid of opposition. Embrace it as a sign that you are walking in purpose. Do not retreat when the pressure increases. Stand firm, knowing that God has already secured your victory. What the enemy meant for evil, God is about to turn for your good. Keep pressing forward, because the very thing that was sent to break you will be the thing God uses to elevate you. The power of God in your life is greater than the threats, accusations, or obstacles you face. When God is for you, He does not just protect you, He positions you for victory. He does not just defend you, He causes you to rise above every opposition. Look at David. He was just a shepherd boy, overlooked and underestimated. When God was for him, it did not matter who was against him. Goliath was bigger, stronger, and more experienced in battle, yet David understood something that changed everything. The fight was not between him and Goliath. The fight was between Goliath and God. And when God is in the battle, there is only one possible outcome: victory. Many people live in fear of what others think, of what people might do to them, or of the obstacles ahead. But when you know that God's hand is upon you, the opinions of men become irrelevant. The schemes of your enemies become powerless. What can man do to you when God is your defender? What can circumstances do to you when heaven is your backing? Joseph's brothers plotted against him, sold him into slavery, and tried to erase his destiny. But because God was for him, every attempt to destroy him only pushed him closer to his purpose. What his enemies meant for harm, God used to elevate him. The prison became his pathway to the palace. His suffering became his preparation for leadership. This is what happens when God is for you. Even when people rise against you, their actions cannot change God's plan. Even when doors seem closed, God will open the right ones at the right time. Even when you feel surrounded by difficulty, remember this: you are never outnumbered when God is on your side. So stop fearing what is against you and start focusing on who is for you. The greater the opposition, the greater the testimony. The bigger the attack, the bigger the breakthrough. When God is your source, you will always rise, no matter what comes against you. When God is for you, even the impossible becomes possible. The natural laws of the world no longer apply when the supernatural power of God is working in your favor. What others call limitations, God calls opportunities. What people say cannot be done, God declares already finished. Look at Moses standing before the Red Sea. Pharaoh's army was behind him. Mountains were on both sides, and the sea was blocking the way forward. In the natural, there was no escape. But Moses understood something powerful. When God is for you, obstacles do not block your path. They become the stage for God's power to be revealed. With one command, the sea parted, and what seemed impossible became the very means of deliverance. Some of you are facing impossible situations. Maybe the doctors have said there is no cure. Maybe your financial situation looks hopeless. Maybe people have told you that your dream is too big, your past is too broken, or your mistakes are too great. But I want you to hear this: when God is for you, there is no such thing as impossible. Sarah was barren, too old to have children, but when God is for you, age does not matter, biology does not matter, statistics do not matter. The same God who created life from dust spoke a child into Sarah's womb. Peter walked on water, not because the laws of physics changed, but because when God is for you, He makes you walk above what should drown you. Lazarus was dead for 4 days, but when Jesus called his name, the grave had no choice but to release him. When God is for you, even death must obey. So why are you afraid? Why are you doubting? The God who created the universe is the one standing with you. If He can part a sea, heal the sick, raise the dead, and multiply bread in the wilderness, then surely He can make a way for you. Stop looking at what is impossible and start looking at the God who makes all things possible. What is blocking you today will soon become the testimony of your victory. Because when God is for you, nothing, absolutely nothing can stand against you. When God is for you, even the enemy's plans will serve God's purpose in your life. The very attacks designed to break you will be used to build you. The very traps set to destroy you will become the stepping stones that elevate you. What was meant for your harm will be turned for your good. Look at Joseph. His own brothers sold him into slavery. He was betrayed, falsely accused, and thrown into prison. From a human perspective, it looked like his life was ruined. But when God is for you, nothing and no one can take away your destiny. What seemed like a setback was actually a setup. Every hardship was moving Joseph closer to the palace. What the enemy meant for evil, God used to position him for purpose. Some of you are going through painful situations right now. You have been rejected, mistreated, or falsely accused. People have plotted against you. But I want you to hear this today. Their actions do not have the power to cancel God's plan for your life. They may think they have won, but God is working behind the scenes. What looks like a loss is about to turn into a testimony. Haman built a gallows to destroy Mordecai, but God flipped the script. The very trap Haman built for Mordecai became the instrument of his own downfall. Why? Because when God is for you, no weapon formed against you can prosper. Daniel's enemies conspired to throw him into the lion's den. They thought it was over for him, but they did not realize that when God is for you, even lions lose their power. Daniel walked out untouched, but his enemies were devoured by the same trap they set for him. So stop fearing what the enemy is doing and start trusting what God is doing. What looks like a setback is actually a setup for your breakthrough. The very thing that was sent to destroy you is about to push you into your destiny. Stay faithful. Keep trusting, because when God is for you, even your enemies will unknowingly serve His purpose in your life. When God is for you, delay is not denial. It is divine preparation. Many people give up too soon because they do not understand that waiting is part of the process. God's timing is perfect. And what may seem like a delay to you is actually God setting everything in place for your elevation. Look at David. He was anointed as king while still a shepherd boy, but he did not step into the throne immediately. Instead, he went back to tending sheep. Then he had to face Goliath. After that, he spent years running from Saul. It would have been easy for him to ask, God, if you are for me, why is this taking so long? But what David did not realize was that every season of waiting was shaping him for the throne. The battles, the betrayals, and the time in the wilderness were not delays. They were training grounds. Many of you are in a season where it feels like nothing is happening. You have prayed, you have believed, but the breakthrough has not yet come. Let me tell you this, God is not withholding your blessing. He is preparing you to handle it. If you receive something too soon, you might not be able to sustain it. That is why God develops your character before He elevates your position. Look at Joseph. He had dreams of greatness as a teenager, but it took years before he saw them fulfilled. If he had become a ruler too soon, he would not have been ready. The waiting season built his wisdom, his endurance, and his leadership. By the time he reached the palace, he was prepared to handle it. Even Jesus waited. He did not start his public ministry until he was 30 years old. He spent years growing in wisdom, in favor, and in obedience. Because when God is for you, He does not just want you to succeed. He wants you to be sustained in that success. So do not be discouraged by delays. What God has spoken over your life will come to pass. Your waiting is not wasted. It is working for your good. When the time is right, God will open the door and no one will be able to shut it. Because when God is for you, nothing and no one can stop His plan for your life. When God is for you, you do not have to chase opportunities. Opportunities will chase you. The favor of God on your life will open doors that no man can close. It will place you in rooms you never expected to enter and position you for blessings you did not even ask for. Look at Esther. She was just an orphan girl, unknown and unnoticed. Yet when God is for you, it does not matter where you come from. What matters is where He is taking you. Without a royal background, without political connections, she was placed in the palace. She did not fight for the position. God's favor brought her there. Some of you are struggling because you think you have to fight your way to the top. You believe that if you do not push hard enough, you will be left behind. But let me remind you, God's favor is greater than human effort. One moment of divine favor can do more than years of striving. Joseph was forgotten in prison, but when God's favor stepped in one day, he moved from the prison to the palace. He did not beg Pharaoh for the position. God orchestrated the opportunity. When it is your time, the right people will find you, the right doors will open, and what took others years will happen for you in an instant. Peter was a fisherman, toiling all night with no success. But when Jesus told him to cast his net, he caught so many fish that his boat began to sink. Why? Because when God is for you, what was empty will become overflow. You do not have to chase success. You need to chase God, and success will follow. You do not have to worry about who is against you. Focus on the one who is for you. When God's hand is on your life, no human opinion can stop your elevation. No system, no opposition, no circumstance can block what God has ordained for you. So stop stressing over opportunities. Be faithful where you are and watch how God positions you. When He is for you, favor will locate you, increase will find you, and doors will open that no man can shut. When God is for you, your victory is already decided before the battle even begins. The outcome is not determined by your strength, your resources, or your connections. It is determined by the God who fights for you. Look at Jehoshaphat. When a vast army came against him, he did not panic. He did not gather weapons or call for more soldiers. Instead, he sought the Lord. And what did God say? The battle is not yours, but mine. Jehoshaphat and his people did not even have to fight. They simply praised God, and their enemies destroyed themselves. Some of you are exhausted because you have been trying to fight battles in your own strength. You are battling anxiety, fear, opposition, or financial struggles, and you feel overwhelmed. But I came to tell you today, this battle is not yours, it belongs to the Lord. If God is for you, you do not have to stress over how things will work out. Your victory is already secured. David did not defeat Goliath because of his skill with a slingshot. He won because God was fighting for him. The walls of Jericho did not fall because of Israel's military power. They fell because God was in the battle. When Jesus went to the cross, it looked like defeat. The enemy thought he had won. But 3 days later, the grave had to release him, because when God is for you, even death cannot hold you back. So why are you afraid? Why are you doubting? The same God who shut the mouths of lions for Daniel, who opened prison doors for Paul and Silas, who made a way through the Red Sea for Moses, that same God is with you. And if He is for you, who can be against you? Stop fighting battles that have already been won. Stand in faith. Praise God in advance. Walk with confidence, because your victory is not just possible, it is guaranteed.